bottom is up, and then that's to turn it off. Okay. Now, it will buzz at you when that's on, because sometimes you'll accidentally hit it with your knee, and then check that. It's probably bumped it, but your yellow valve's got to be open to air up, and then it's got to be open to air down, too. Okay. Otherwise, you'll choke out the motor if you leave that on, because it's got nowhere to go. Like that. Okay. You got a gauge right here that kind of gives you an idea of what numbers are on in that millimeters of mercury for what terrain you're on. You get a hang of it pretty quick, but just general numbers right here for your terrain. Got your wiper sprayer. These are your chain oilers. This is what will buzz at you like every 10 hours. Just hold them both down until the buzzing stops. This is your cabin heat. The cabin heat comes out just from right here under your legs, and you got a little deal here where you can fold it down to kind of adjust how much heat you want to be coming out. Then you just got a fan. You got your horn. These are your hazards. Running lights, highs and lows. You just flip it side to side. Okay. And then you got blinkers too. So, and then here you got your
fan. What's the fan? Is that?
I think it's just kind of like a vent fan.
Okay.
I guess in the summertime you could run it maybe just more airflow if you wanted to. Then you just got your interior lights up front here. For the back interior lights, there's just a button right there. It says interior lighting. Yep. You got your backup camera. Backup cameras aren't the greatest on these, and I think it's got to be running for it to show, but you're better off probably just turning around and looking back. Yeah. You got a lot of USB plugins here. You got USB, and then you got like your cigarette lighter. Then you got a bunch of storage up here. Same thing on the other side over there. And then to open this, all you do is just turn her sideways, push up, and there's stoppers, so you can push it all the way up, and it'll stay there. And I mean, a guy could stand up right out here and shoot ducks, or shoot squirrels, right? That's basically everything up front. I guess right here, so to turn the unit on, this is your main power switch right here. So this turns on the main power in the unit. To be able to start it or do anything, you have to have this power switch on. Okay. You want to turn that one on, and then normally if it's cold out, you want to let the glow plugs go, cycle, and then you turn the key and fire it up. Right here is your secondary battery switch. So there's a secondary battery in these units that's never used, but it's always charging. So let's say you were to leave this power switch on, you left something on, you kill the battery. When you turn the power switch on, when you turn the key, you hold that switch down, and it'll switch over to that secondary battery, and you should be able to fire up and go.
Potentially, the alternator will recharge battery 1 if you're on battery 2, or
yes, the alternator charges both batteries. So yeah, if you kill your first battery and you start it with this one and you run for a while, your first battery should charge back up. Okay. In the back here, right here, is your Webasto heater. So that's your secondary diesel turbine heater that just drips off the diesel and your power. Actually, on the Pros, your power switch doesn't even have to be on to run them. And it's got 2 settings. It's got the engine setting where you see when you're back there, I think it's push in or pull out for engine. So if it's really cold out, you can turn that on an hour or 2 before you're going to start your unit, and it'll be nice and toasty and fire right up. And then you got cabin heat too, which is nice when it's cold. So you can pull it out and you can heat the cabin back here for passengers in the back, because the only engine heat that comes out is from right here. And then you can leave that on. That can run obviously with the unit not on, so even if a guy was to camp in here, you could run that at night. I think it'll run for about 8 hours until it's filling the battery. And then we just recommend if you were going to camp in it, crack a window or whatever. And also if you're going to sleep in one, they recommend too that you deflate the tires fully, just because they are full with exhaust. So if there was some kind of leak, you don't want to choke yourself out. So yeah, that's kind of basically it for the inside. That's actually.
What's under all of this stuff? Is this just like padding, or is there storage?
So this is actually insulation. Okay. This is all insulated, but yeah, it's basically just the interior. So this is actually an engine tunnel right here, which we can show you later when we're done. You can pull all this interior off, and you can pull these panels off, and your motor sits right here. But yeah, this is actually just like. They have a parking brake that doesn't really work on these units. They kind of, like we normally just put it in first gear. But it really Normally, like if we load on a trailer, we put it first.